Hello, hello, hello.
Hola, ¿cómo está?
Don't mind me and my wet shower hair, shower head hair.
When are people going to understand that I don't need
You
a
don't
sippy
need a
cup?
sippy cup. I do.
Here.
I probably need to move this over here more.
We need to put it on the live chat in case somebody's talking and we don't
And
see them.
need to turn it down.
What up, Mind and Body Company? We missed you last week, homie. I'm going to sing everything I say.
No, you're
tonight.
not. Please don't. Hey, April. We
Hello,
missed you too.
April.
I am too tired for that. I'm just letting you know right now.
April missed the story of the hamsters last week with the twerking.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, did you turn the monetization off?
I did. Just looking at this and see what was going on. Kiki Gardens.
That's so complicated. Yes. Well, I mean, officially we didn't see each other. We just...
Big Bear the musical. Please don't encourage him, April.
If I was a rich man,
No. Mm-mm.
How happy would I be?
You know how happy I would be if he would not sing? Like, I'm just saying. Oh, now you have to tell her about the twerking hamsters. We'll have to send you the link, April. Whoops, sorry.
Yeah.
Because Jason got stuck on a rabbit hole last week watching, was it?
I was pooping and I had my phone and I just was watching TikTok. So look at this. I'm gaining all this back. Look at this.
I'm sorry, but...
Oh. But I was pooping and I was watching TikTok. And I was flipping through. Now, normally with my TikTok, my feed is full of scuba diving, like trail cams, animal videos,
Marine Corps
stuff. Well, this live came on, and there was this. He had the camera on. I guess he was like a hamster breeder or something, because they weren't. But I mean, they were baby hamsters, and he had these like wheels that were kind of cocked up. They kind of looked like almost like a Ferris wheel kind of thing. That was kind of cocked up like this a little bit, and the hamsters would get on there and they would run, and it would spin it in circles. Well, I told Robin, I said, I learned that there is an a-hole in every species of animal on this planet. And if you don't believe me, then you might be that a-hole. But he was, this little hamster dude, he was running, and he was getting it. And he was, you know how, like, if you see when you shoot videos, because a lot of us are creators, or we take pictures, and the frames per second are adjusted, like with a helicopter, you can actually see the blades, because it's just going, the frame rate's just not...
You lower the frame rate so that it's only so many frames per second, and so it makes it slower.
Yeah. So this hamster, he was running so fast. He was getting it like this. You see the front feet going like this. But his back butt was going like... up and down like that, because he was getting it so fast that it was just... But he was an a-hole, because when everybody else tried to jump on, he would like let them get on, and then he'd start running, and then he would just flatten his body out, and when it would spin around, it would trip him and knock him off. Mm-hmm. And at first I thought he was just tripping over him, but as I got to watch, when he was running there by himself, he started practicing it. He would get going real fast, and then he would lay and sprawl himself out. So
how did that go again?
See, he was running like this, but the booty was going like this.
You got it, Mark. We'll take care of that. Says he needs prayers. His sister had to have emergency surgery today.
Oh, no.
So at least there was no spinning cobra this weekend. I don't know what that means.
I don't know what that means either, but that would be cool.
No. No. Uh-uh. No.
The ones I really like that you catch, like we have a tradition here on Christmas and New Year's, and really every holiday.
But definitely on Christmas and New Year's.
We watch on YouTube, we watch that army fail. Where everybody sends in like their blooper reels or their fail videos. And then they marry them all up. Put them together. The ones that I like are the idiots that get on the merry-go-round and they hold on as tight as they can, and somebody laid a motorcycle on the side, and where the back tire is touching the merry-go-round to spin the merry-go-round, and there's somebody in there and they're just getting it. And the whole thing is to hold on. Just, and they get to go. Every now and then you'll see vomit just go shoo,
Oh,
shoo, shoo.
I don't watch those.
Or you see their butt come out from underneath them and they're like holding on and they look like they're in a tornado and they can't hold anymore and they go shoo, 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 shoo. And they usually end up hitting a tree. That's what usually makes it funny. But we've come to the conclusion that the absolute best invention for mankind has been... There's two inventions out there that has done absolutely wonders for mankind. Mm-hmm. One is the pull-up bar that goes on a door frame because it never holds.
Never holds.
Some of
the best fails ever.
Best fail. And then the other ones is the hovercraft.
Yeah, the little hover.
And now they're trying to make it safer where they put the seat down on it and you can drive it like a tank. But I guess people don't get the lessons on or like a skid steer.
Those are like the best fail videos. You see one of them get on it, and the best part is like they get confident because they're like, "Yeah, I'm getting it," and then it, whoop.
I like it. I really love the people that are my age or older. I'm like, what are y'all thinking?
Breaking a hip? Is that what
we
wanted a visit to the ER?
What are you thinking? And they get on it, and they have all the young people, the 20-somethings, holding them like they're on a bicycle with training wheels again. And you know they're about to go because they all start doing this. And then it's whoop, whoop, head over butt. Every time.
It's great. I love it.
Yep.
But we watch those every year at Christmas time, New Year's, Thanksgiving. Like, we love to watch those.
And after about 2 or 3 of them in, we start doing commentary. And then we'll even start doing like voiceovers. Hey, Billy Bob, watch this.
Hold my beer.
You know, and it's always like, whoa, you're too big for this ride. Or, no, you got 2 brain cells that ain't touching. This ain't gonna work.
So bad.
Yeah. Or the parkour people. Blaze is always like, you gotta commit. You didn't commit. You didn't commit.
You hesitated.
It's all or nothing.
Great. Absolutely great.
Well, we are closing out
the year. Yeah. So how was everybody's Christmas? We haven't.
Have we posted everywhere to let everybody know that we were up and going? Okay. If some of our moderators could post in the nation and everywhere, let everybody.
My in-law watched the boating fails.
Yeah, those are good too.
Yeah, I don't watch the boating.
Any fails are good because sometimes you gotta really ask yourself, what are these people thinking? You know?
Well, it's like she just said, let's face it, people are dumb. Like, when we got rid of natural selection and started putting caution warnings on everything, we started letting the stupid procreate. Instead of dying off with the species, they just keep coming back.
Warning labels, I think, really hurt us.
Yeah. If you think it's okay to blow your hair dry while you're in the shower or the bathtub, it's a problem. Like, Water and electricity
I
do
never,
not mix.
I never could understand that.
I couldn't either.
Just like the RV company that got sued
Mhm.
and they lost, and it was like a $50-60 million
Mhm.
lawsuit because the guy that was driving
put it on cruise control and
then
went
got
to
up
the
and
back.
got up and walked away.
Stop driving it.
And now in 99.9% of your RV manuals,
Yeah,
it'll
it
say
says
in there in cruise control, you still have to
you have to drive.
It's not an auto drive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, cruise control does not mean auto drive. Yeah, so.
Just didn't.
Go figure.
Go figure.
But yeah, when we started putting up warning labels that were like, really, like how you said, like if you have to put it in a safety briefing, that means it's happened more than twice.
Wow. Well, it's like I had some VA appointments this week,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to get an MRI done on my neck and my knee. So I went in there and I got all the little non-attractive gown on, and I'm out there in my skivvies, and all of a sudden I had to pee because it's like instant cold.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And so they brought me back out into the waiting room for the bathroom.
Fortunately, it was just me out there.
Who thought that was a good idea?
I don't know.
It's like,
it's the VA.
you guys are supposed to be doctors. You should know that when all of a sudden you get two different temperatures, it makes you have to pee.
Well, before you even take them back there, you should be like, hey, most of the time when we take people back here, they end up having to pee. So if you need to go, you might want to try now.
Yeah. So I come out there and I use the facilities and I wash my hands and I'm coming out. But right above the commode,
there's a sign.
There's a sign. And I couldn't believe it.
Well,
it said,
I'll explain to you why in a second.
It said, do not put your hands inside the toilet bowl. And I'm thinking, there's a lot of grown folks that come up in here.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of folks that seen combat, served, it was in charge of the security of this great nation. Why do we have a sign to tell these individuals and their family not to put their hands on the inside of the commode? And so I came out and I asked, and she's going to give you the reason for it. But I said to the lady, I said, well, that means that's happened at least twice that y'all had to make these signs.
So at the VA, and there may be in other places, but I've noticed them at the VA, they have this contraption that goes just before the P-trap of the toilet. And essentially what it does is it chops up all of the debris that people flush down the toilet that aren't meant to go down the toilet. So tampons, sanitary napkins, wads of toilet paper, that kind of stuff. And I guess if you stick your hand down in there, you have a chance of cutting your hand up pretty bad. So they have to tell people to not, like if they drop something in there, like one of the nurses once told me that a lady like dropped her earring, fell down in there or something. When she turned around to flush the toilet, her earring fell down. So she reached in to pick up her
I just go buy new earrings.
Earring, and yeah. So yeah, that's they're trying to avoid having, pipes burst and, having to have plumbers come in all the time because people can't use common sense and try to flush things down a toilet that they know the toilet, pipe is only that big. So yeah, that's what that was for. But like you said, that just means that at least a couple people did it before they had to put signs up everywhere. And those people probably
tried to sue.
Yeah, probably tried to sue. Donald says he learned while working wastewater that people flushing the unflushable costs our country billions. Yeah, absolutely. I believe that. Yeah, and the top flushables are tampons, baby wipes, and condoms. Yeah. Yeah, you can't. They don't.
I'm guilty.
Of what?
When I was a younger man.
Oh, I was going to say. Yeah, I never. I always threw all that stuff away.
It was the baby wipes.
So, yeah, but.
Because I was a virgin till we met.
Such a liar. Such a liar. So, anyway, so how was everybody's Christmas? Everybody have a good Christmas?
So it's New Year's Eve.
Yes.
We're closing out 2023.
Mm-hmm.
This next 2024, y'all, is gonna be we're gonna go for a ride. But before we get into that, we want to, since she's here, because she wasn't here last week, Miss April, YouTube has permitted us to be able to give away a certain amount of memberships each month. And you do a lot of hard work for us here, monitoring the Facebook, the Instagram, here, all that kind of stuff. Last week was probably the first time that you haven't been
It's been in a while. Yeah.
in a live stream in
a long time.
a long time.
Yeah.
And you also came to visit, and you put up with Apollo farting right at your feet, and you
that
didn't
should be
complain.
enough right there.
And so, you know, God rest his soul, Apollo was a good dog.
But he had stinky farts.
But we are going to gift you the top tier membership for the
month of January.
It's our way of saying thank you for what you do, and we appreciate it, and we love you.
Oh my God! I'm gonna have that mental image for a while now.
I just want to say something. If you ever share that much, we gonna have problems. I'm gonna tell you that much right now. Don't you ever,
Missy, I think you broke me.
ever.
Anna, what's up? We are so glad to see you. I wish you could come more often, but we understand.
The $1 million question.
Tell your mom a Happy New Year's.
Mimsy's Garden. Have you heard from Single Dad?
I heard from his mama not too long ago.
Yeah.
She posted a picture of a Jesus thing, just like my Jesus thing, and said something about how the little one made a comment about it, and I was like, oh. So I made a comment on it, and she said something about telling them that I said something or something. I don't know. But yeah, he just kind of fell off the vase. Hey,
Lone
what's up?
Star.
Jonathan.
I'm serious though. That was way too much sharing.
Even like the grease.
That was just.
Oh my God, that was so funny.
Because what makes it funny is you can see it.
Yeah, like, I mean, we've all been there for something, you know, like something's happened that's embarrassing like that. Missy just put it out there for everybody. I don't know whether to laugh or to feel like privileged that she felt comfortable enough to tell us all that. Daughter just called. She said, "Catch y'all later." We are family. Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
We ain't that much family. I'm gonna tell you that much right now.
Oh,
Never that much family.
I mean, you pretty much let everybody hear you throw up one year.
Yeah, but I don't. I mean, that's different.
You were out there by the window peeing, letting everybody hear you pee.
Okay, you're towing the line.
You did it to yourself. You did that all by yourself.
Towing the line.
Oh, man. Oh, that made me laugh too hard.
Because could you want? I wonder if he made this sound like from Bruce Almighty,
What?
where he went when his teeth fell out.
Probably.
When he had that spoon. What are you doing?
None of your business. Just keep talking.
Now you got me distracted.
Don't. Just don't even look. Just don't
How
look.
can I not look?
Because I said, don't look.
That's her.
Huh?
That's not how I had her pictured. But so we're not going to make any New Year's
Resolutions?
revolutions.
No? Okay.
No, because I'm gonna break them 5 minutes after we do it. I may try to do a 72-hour fast, like how Pastor Kevin was talking about a couple Wednesdays ago. I may try to do that on the first of the year after New Year's Day.
after the festival of feasting.
Yeah, I may try to do that. I've never done it, so I'm gonna try to do it.
I recommend we don't try to do it at the same time.
We probably all need to do it at the same time. That way
That way everybody's miserable and barking at each other at the same time. I don't think so.
It's okay. Don't support.
Oh, I'll support you. I will firmly support you. What I'm saying is that I don't think it's a good idea for everybody to try and go through that together all at the same time. Just my thoughts.
Your thoughts. So I started cleaning up the shop like a week ago. Been that long?
Beginning of this week.
No, it's been longer than that. And because I got the back half somewhat done last week.
Okay.
With all of the lumber and everything.
Oh,
stacked
yeah.
organized.
That's right.
And then I started the front half. And this one buddy of mine from Walk to Emmaus, his name's Don. Some guy just gave him a whole bunch of stuff.
Hey, Luke.
And it was like screws and nails and all different parts. And he's like, "You want this stuff?" And of course, I'm a prepper, so yeah, I'll take it.
Right.
And so I finally started going. This was way back a year ago. And I finally got the opportunity to start to go through.
Well, he just brought us 2 boxes of stuff.
There was more than 2.
Okay, whatever. I only saw 2 boxes, but he brought boxes of stuff. And none of it was organized. It was just tossed in boxes, and he just put them in the shop, and that was it.
A lot of tools, a lot of hardware.
Just random, like, screwdriver, wrenches, like, just all kinds of weird stuff.
Well, I actually started going through it today. There was a lot of hinges, latches, face plates for outlets, switches, all kinds of just really, really cool stuff. And
Agatha, are you okay?
And so I started organizing it, putting stuff in places, and and I found the safety goggles. Odessa hates wearing safety goggles.
To say the least, because when you sent the picture and you were like, "So yeah, I found these, Ladessa. You're going to clean them and start wearing them again." And before you even said the picture, she's like, "Crap, he found the goggles."
I was wondering how she reacted.
I hate wearing those things. Yeah. She's not a fan, but.
Why do you keep making the thumbs up go over?
I'm not.
Why does it keep going over you?
I don't. Your hand is up and has a thumb right there. See? Stop. It's not doing it today.
But what was I talking about before you distracted me? Oh, the goggles.
Goggles.
Yep, she had them. She had them hid good.
Mm-hmm.
She had them tucked way back there in the one back corner. But
my other favorite thing that you sent me was was it you or Carol that sent the picture of the shelf with the egg on it?
oh, that was me.
Yeah, so he sends me a picture and it's got an egg on a shelf.
Tinker's wife, what's up?
And it says, Ladessa, you need to make sure you put everything where it belongs. This doesn't belong here.
Windswept Homestead says, sorry I'm late.
Been a busy week.
Been a busy week. That's fine, but you still get 10 demerits.
Does it do it? Ha ha ha! That's so cool. I love that.
So we do have some big plans for 2024. But we got to get some other I's dotted and T's crossed before we really kind of throw it back out there. We have our goals list right up there. We've got a 1 month, 6 month, 1 year, 2 year, and 5 year goals list. Lagatha. No, ma'am. No. No.
Who is she barking at? Who is she
heard the
barking
girls.
at?
She heard the girls.
This is a reminder.
Like Ladessa. Alexa.
She's gonna knock the light over.
This is a reminder.
Alexa, cancel. Bark.
This is a reminder.
Alexa, cancel. I still can't figure out why that thing does it twice. Does anybody know anything about Alexa to know why it would do it twice? I'm not sure why that does that.
Well, can somebody explain to me why they make it to where it only lasts a certain amount of time?
Well, duh,
and
you know
then,
why.
And then it just goes haywire?
Yeah, that's just so you'll buy another one. Come here, baby. Come here. Hey, come here. Come up here to me. Come on. Daddy wants me to look at you real quick. Come on, baby.
See, she's pinking up really nice, though.
Yeah. Oh, that's a bug, baby.
You notice how she's looking at me like nanny boo boo?
Because she loves her mama. Do you love the mama? I'm sorry you don't feel great. But it makes sense why you've been eating so much.
Milk it.
So we figured out that Lagatha's been eating some poop. And she's a little wormy. So we started our protocol, what we do with them when they get wormy. And we love doing it because it's the most effective treatment we've ever seen. It works almost immediately. And I won't get too gross, but it works on humans too. Don't ask me how I know. But it's very effective even with humans.
So I have a question, and I want you guys to either think about it, and Lynn the Okie, is that what it says?
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Lynn? Answer us here in this chat, or send us an email if you feel like you need to think about it. But I know, like, the homesteading genre is just kind of like really overloaded on YouTube. Is there anything that you guys want to learn about that you're not getting from us or other channels out there? Is there anything out there that you're curious about?
Or more want more in depth, because a
Yeah.
lot of times I see people will just scratch the surface of something and then they just leave it alone. Yep, we saw it. 63.3. All right, you can get down now. Go lay down.
Come on.
Oh, now you gotta see Daddy.
Give me a hug. Give me a hug.
She can't. You're up high. You're up too high, Daddy. You're up too high, Daddy. Let's see. Daily goods, replacements, homemade versions like soaps. Daily goods, replacements, homemade versions like soaps, lotions, shampoos, etc. Okay.
Here, get the marker and write that on the board right there by you so we don't forget.
Which one is it that's the better one? This one? Or
No, the other one. Donald said, I like to learn.
How you deal with Jason.
When Donald comes to visit, I want you to bite him on the butt. No bye, no love you, see you later, just leave. Oh, Luke thinks he's funny.
What is that?
He's agreeing with Donald.
Oh.
We'll see you tomorrow, Luke. What are you doing? What, do we have to have you a chair right here so you can be on the TV?
Apparently. She hasn't spent time with me all day, so she's like in rare form. Come on. Come on. I know. It's okay.
Like, do you guys want to know more about like chickens, predator control, off-grid stuff, truly off-grid stuff? You know, because I mean, it's a next year is an election year. So, of course, par for course, when it comes in an election year, I'm going to go ahead and say that, I'm going to say this. This, you know, a lot of those prepper channels out there, some of them, they all like to make all these crazy predictions about this. But if you look back through history, every election cycle, when it doesn't matter if it's the economy, the budget, the, you know, the border, immigration, whatever the key,
the buzz topic,
the buzz topic is, during that election year, that always gets better. And right now, a lot of folks are struggling, you know, with the economy. And it's really easy to put your finger on that pulse. You guys have your finger on that pulse because you're here. The gardening genre, off-grid genre, the preparedness genre, the homesteading genre, they are all at an all-time high. The interest and Google searches for all of that has been an all-time high. But the crazy thing is that if you look at anybody from Jess and Jeremiah, us, any of the guys that's been around for a while, Goldshaw, the views, Goldshaw might be the exception because he's more of, the way that he does his stuff is more of a storytelling kind of thing. But for the most part, 99% of the the people that put out all this type of content, gardening, homesteading, preparedness, bushcraft, all of that, whether it's YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook, we've all seen a huge dip in views. And it's basically called shadow banning. They're just not pushing this stuff. But yet it's at an all-time high for interest. Our Google search, like when in the back analytics, a lot of people have found, because we're still growing, and a lot of it's coming from people finding us via Google search. They're searching in certain topics, and they're finding our website or they're finding our video, and that's how they find us. But so I say that to say that over the next year, you may see a little bit of an ease in financial strife, what you're going through. Make no mistake that depending on, well, left wing, right wing is part of the same bird, people. You're gonna 2025. You're gonna be right back here, maybe worse. A lot of people saying that the housing market, because the way it just shot up the way that it has, because of the mass exodus out of New York and out of California, and then the opening of the floodgates, and a lot of illegal immigrants coming in, that the housing thing's going to be boom. Like the market value went through the roof.
But that will only last so long before people can't afford to buy the houses anymore, and they just sit.
Yeah.
So that happens all the time. I mean, it's just a cycle.
Yeah, our property like almost tripled in value. I was talking with a friend this evening, and she was talking about that there was a single wide trailer on a little small piece of property really close to her, and they were asking like $200K or more than $200K for it down there. Then the sad thing is they'll probably get it because they're one of the states. They're one of the states. Well, it's only like a quarter of an acre, I think she said. Quarter of an acre, half an acre, something like that. I can't remember exactly what she said the land was, but it was somewhere around in there, I think. I can't remember. But they'll get it because her state is one of the states that a lot of these people that are mass exiting are going to. And it wouldn't be that big of a problem if those people didn't also bring the way they vote to those places.
Well, and before voting comes just their beliefs and the way that they think things should be run, and that's a huge problem because you bring all of those things with you, and the whole reason you left is because you didn't like them, but then you bring them here, and all you're going to do is create the same situation here. And before you even vote, if you're going to the school board and saying, well, it needs to be done like this because that's how we did it back home, well, go back home, because that's not how we do it here. I mean, that's the problem is you have too many that won't stand up, and they'll just keep letting things. 20-year-old house on a half an acre.
So what we have to do, and this is one of the things that Robin and I we talked about one of our goals, one of our dreams, wishes, whatever you want to say for 2024, is to really help empower people to build a community. Now, what do I mean by that? You hear a lot of people say, I want to build a community of like-minded people. Well, I don't know if I could particularly agree with that. Like-minded to a way. But I really don't want everybody in my community to think exactly the same way I do. Because I don't get to be a better person that way.
And by better person, you mean you don't grow.
Yeah.
You can't grow. If everybody is the same, then there will be no growth. It'll be complacency.
Yeah.
And so you have to have people who are, not as far along as you are, those that are further along. So, because your favorite saying is that, rising tides rises all ships. And so, you can have different levels, and the thing is that you're going to have somebody who it might be something that's a new concept to them, and they think of it differently, they perceive things differently, and they may come up with something you've never thought of because,
Great inventions have come out of tough times.
Always.
So
great music, great movies.
I really would love to help people. How do I say this? Help people feel empowered and no longer afraid to reach out to their fellow neighbor, human,
community,
people that live around them, and say, look, why don't we start a neighborhood garden? Why don't we get neighborhood chickens? Why don't we, do something in this neighborhood? One of the biggest, in my opinion, and I know other people may disagree with me on this, and that's okay, but one of the things that I think hurts community the most is an HOA. I think HOAs suck the oxygen out of the room when people are trying to build a community. When people are trying to
you pit people against each other.
Yeah, build neighborhoods and stuff like that. Because remember back in the day, when I was growing up in the neighborhood, whether it was in South Georgia or it was down in Augusta, you would have block parties. Where everybody in the block would bring a covered dish. There'd be music out there playing. Usually it's around the 4th of July, something like that. Fireworks would be going off, or you'd be celebrating a church reunion or something. There was that sense of community. Everybody, you couldn't be a kid and act a fool in the neighborhood because you might get your butt whooped from Joe's mama
neighbors
all the way back to your house, and then you turn around and get your butt tore up by your own parents. But those kids in that neighborhood, they never got snatched. They never got molested or anything like that. They were watching out for each other. And I want to help bring that back. I want to help people. All you hear about in the news is about how everybody is against one another. The black folks hate the white folks. The white folks hate the black folks. The Christians hate the non-Christians, and this group of people hate this group of people, and this group of people hate this group of people. And I don't know about y'all, but here in Northeast Georgia, I don't see none of that. I see the normal folks don't like the a-holes, but you know what? We all get over the a-holes and we move on down the road. There's no riots or protests against any of that, and we need to bring neighborhoods back. We need to bring communities back. You don't think it's gotten that bad? Go on YouTube after our show tonight and just type in Philadelphia. And there's a guy that's getting millions and millions of views. He just drives around in his car and he has a dash cam or he's holding a GoPro and he's filming the streets of downtown Philly. Downtown Philly's like a third world country now. And it's something that you would see on like Escape from New York. All these apocalyptic type movies where the worst of humanity is is right there in your face. This is live and in color. Um, my aunt who lives up that way, she makes jokes all the time, and she says that Philly, how'd she put it? Philly went downhill fast when the police ran the Italians out because the Italians had a sense of community and the mob kept the streets safe, where these fake gangsters that are up there now have just thought about themselves and just ran it into the ground. They don't take care of the neighborhood. And Joel Salatin, always says that, we need to bring back the butcher, the baker, and the candlestick maker.
And the switch. Sorry.
And I agree with that. I don't know about a candlestick maker because I don't really know that many people that really need candles a lot. But we need to bring back where we've got the local butcher in every town. We need to bring back the local delis in every town. The seamstress,
Did you guys see the two brothers who each other and killed his sister over Christmas gifts? I don't know what sit's supposed to be something else, I'm assuming. No, we didn't see that.
We didn't see that. So, hi, Lola, by the way. I've been running my mouth since you got in here and I didn't get a chance to say hello.
Butcher, baker,
And blacksmiths. There you go.
There you go, blacksmith.
Mm-hmm.
Back into these neighborhoods. And we have to retrain our thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And I know I'm kind of preaching here right now, but this is the kind of thing that I really want to just kind of drive home in 2024, is to encourage people to do this. Those trades are disappearing. Those trades, those skills are going away. Mm-hmm. Right now, we have people or companies in this country, and look this up if you don't believe me. Don't just blindly trust me. Look it up. One not long ago that it was in the news. We are growing the chickens here. They are dispatching the chickens here. Then they're sending them all the way to China to get them processed, to then turn around and ship them back here.
Mm-hmm.
Is it because of the cheaper labor over there, or is it because we can't get people to come to work here? It's probably a mixture of both. But at the end of the day, let's just take Elberton for example. Elberton is a monoculture. It's granite or meth.
Or chicken houses.
And that's it. That's really all there is to Elberton. Everybody makes a joke. You're either polishing rock or
slinging it.
Or slinging rock in Elberton. And the sad thing is, and I'm going to do my best to really try and change this. I'm getting involved with the current election that's coming up this next go around for our sheriff and for one of the judges. The people that have been elected and put into power here are doing their absolute best to keep it that way. Mm-hmm. And that needs to change. And the nice thing about it is I believe with all of my heart, a lot of that older generation, that old money is dying out. And there's new folks like us that are transplants that are coming in, that's starting to change the temperature of the town, which opens it up for the butcher, the baker, and the blacksmith.
Well, it's not just that, but I think what is also happening is the younger generation
who is either distracted by the granite, the chicken houses, or the meth, have now been somewhat influenced by the transplants. Because the transplants come in and say, what are you doing? Like, not trying to change things like to California mentality or whatever, but like, this is not the way this should be. And then I think what's happening is that younger generation that's always been here, like Luke's age, that, you know, they've lived here their whole life and it's always been a certain way, but that new populace is coming in and saying, no, we don't want to change the small town feel, but there are some things that have to stop. Some of the corruption has to stop. Some of that kind of thing.
We can use Luke as an example. Luke is a very, very talented, very good fisherman, and he does guided fishes, guiding fish tours on the lakes that we have in our county. And the man he's either one of two things. Okay. One, he's either a really good guide and a really good fisherman, because I get all of the leftover parts from him so I can put it in my garden and use it to make raccoon bait. I get a lot from Luke.
And I don't think he gives us all of it.
So he's
trips. Yeah, fishing trips.
Either really good at what he does, or he's really good at not getting caught using dynamite to catch all the fish. Dynamite or hand grenades. Either way, he's really good at what he does.
I don't know. I've seen the pictures of the fish, like where he's actually caught them. So if he does that, I feel like there would be like some fish bits in the pictures, and I've never seen any. So,
but not that many people know about him. When we got here, we didn't know about him. Know about him at all. We didn't know about him until we ended up going to Rock Branch, and we got to meet him through Carol, our daughter. That's one of those diamonds in the rough kind of businesses here that need to get supported to be able to help build that community that I'm kind of talking about. You know, I would love to open up a butcher shop here. There's no way they would let me. And then there's no way that I think the town would support it. Because
I prefer the old telephone. I don't get that.
Zzz. You know, I think back to what I was saying before I went on that tangent, we have to retrain ourselves. Robin, Misty makes soaps. Robin crochets. I don't know if
Misty crochets.
Misty crochets. You know, Copper Kettle, they sell eggs and other stuff. Luke does fishing. There's a lot of people in here. Mind and Body Works does herbs and
I think
stuff like that.
Karen does some stuff too.
Yeah.
Karen does some crocheting. I think April crochets.
Yeah.
But and there's a lot of skills out there that are lost skills. Like, I mean, obviously, like Crystal was just talking about making like replacement stuff like shampoos and body lotions and soaps and things like that.
But we have to retrain ourselves to think. You can't compare Robin's soap to Irish Spring that you get in the grocery store. They're two different soaps. There's stuff that's in Robin soap that's not in Irish Spring. There's a lot of stuff that's in the Robin soaps that are not in your Irish Spring soap. A lot of stuff that's better for you. But it's also a little bit more time consuming than a bunch of child slave laborers making
or machines.
This soap.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Same way with the crocheting stuff. It's stuff that lasts 40 forevers, not like a Chinese made one that'll be done in 6 months. I mean, that was my biggest joke when it came to the Mr. 19 when it first started. I said, everybody, it's made in China. It's only going to be around for 6 months and it'll break. Relax.
Yeah. Well, I'll give you a good example. Like some of the crocheted blankets. Like I had a crocheted blanket that was crocheted for Blaze when he was a baby. And he's now 20, almost 25. And that thing is still like it was, I mean, you know. And like my quilts, my grandmother, I have not learned quilting yet. I want to learn quilting. But my grandmother came down one summer and built a quilting frame in our basement, and she made a quilt for me and a quilt for my brother. And I'm 46. That quilt is probably 40 years old. And it's still, like, we've used it. I got a little upset because I got some Sharpie ink or something on it sometime. But it's still... But it's still in really good shape. And, I mean, we used it. We didn't just, like, put it up in a cupboard somewhere. Like, we've used it pretty frequently. And it's, like, 40 years old. So...
There's a difference between things getting mass-produced and done at the cheapest way possible versus somebody doing something right with good solid material that stuff is made to last. And we have to read the point I was trying to make is we got to retrain ourselves to understand that
you're going on the value train.
Robin's soap is going to cost more than a bar of Irish Spring. Okay? But I guarantee you're going to feel cleaner and your body's going to thank you for using Robin's soap versus the Irish Spring. And same way with blacksmithing stuff. I guarantee you the stuff that's made by a good blacksmith is going to last a lot longer than the stuff that you buy at
Walmart.
Academy, Walmart, you know, whatever. And so we have to retrain ourselves that stuff's going to cost a little bit more. And it's okay to spend that money because I guarantee you buy a hatchet from a blacksmith that costs you $25, $30. I don't know what it costs from a blacksmith, maybe up $50, $60, $70. Okay? But that hatchet that you get from that blacksmith, one, if you take care of it, it'll last you for forever. Okay? You may have to replace the handle years from now, but you'll be able to sharpen it, which will also make it last a lot longer. And two, by the time let's just say 5 years from now, one person bought the hatchet for $50 and somebody else bought a $9.99 hatchet and they used it the same amount of times, blah, blah, blah. Okay? Everything else, same. I can guarantee you, this guy over here spent that $50 one time and was done. This fool over here probably spent close to $70 to $100 replacing all of those hatchets
constantly
because he couldn't sharpen them to get them to keep an edge, or the head came off, or the steel was cheap steel and it cracked and chipped, stuff like that. Guarantee you that I got my beaver knife from Wallace. Wallace Knife Works. Ricky Wallace. He still makes knives and blades down there in Florida. It's called the Big Bear Beaver Knife. I think he still sells it to this day. I got that knife from him 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
It's been a while.
I've probably skinned close to 100 beaver with that knife.
And Carol's used it for other
For-
stuff,
yeah, and
not
we've-
just
yeah.
for beaver.
And
like,
we've used it on pigs, we've used
Yeah.
it on deer, we've used it on coons,
holds
possums,
a really good
you know,
edge. Like,
goats.
mhm.
Besides running it over a steel to make the
Mhm.
fingers come back down, I have not sharpened it.
Mm-mm.
It's not rusted.
Mm-mm.
The handle is still good.
Mhm.
And it's actually even been left outside a time or two because young ladies didn't pick
Put it
stuff up
away.
and put it away.
Mhm.
You know, but putting a fresh coat of fat or grease or oil
Oil.
on it.
Mhm.
The Chinese beaver knife that you order, the only one that's really available out there
Mhm.
from any trapping supply company, any ones that you can find in any one of these magazines. Okay? I could probably pull up in here real quick. All the association stuff. I think that they don't even have a beaver knife in here right now.
Tornox, $40. Amazon's $29.
Yeah, the Dexter's one's $30.
Mhm.
Okay?
Anywhere from like 15 up to about $30.
Yeah. After 5 beavers, you have to sharpen it. You have to stop what you're doing, take the time, and sharpen it. And you can never get that knife back to an edge to where you could use it,
Mhm.
to where it's halfway decent.
I'm looking at his website right now,
Yeah.
trying to find the beaver knife. Does he still have it on here?
You might not have it on there anymore. Keep going.
Oh, I have to talk to him about that. No, I don't see it. I have to talk to him.
That's another good point.
Nice.
You know,
It's
not-
also from reclaimed metal. That's right.
Reclaimed metal. You know?
Now, you know, Niana's husband also does stuff too.
Mhm.
There's Creek Skinner. That's a Skinner. I don't see the beaver knife. But there's a draw. There's a J. Noel Skinner. I don't see the... He probably doesn't have as much of a...
Audience for it.
But
Yeah.
I'll have to ask him. Because I really need to reach out to Ricky. Because he makes some really cool knives.
Yeah. And so,
All that to say.
all that to say, to be able to build community like we really need, it's a necessity now. We gotta change the way that we think. We gotta learn to do things differently. You know, if Elberton had to survive off of the people in Elberton, there would be a lot of retraining, a lot of rethinking that had to be done. Buying a watermelon this time of year would not happen. You wouldn't be able to do it. You know, buying a tomato during this time of the year, unless you got a bunch of people with hoop houses, then you're really not going to be able to do it. And we have to rethink that.
Ooh. That's so cool. He just got some old discs from farming equipment. Gonna make walks from them.
Ooh.
I bet that's gonna be cool. I would love to have a walk. We don't have a walk. We have a bunch of other stuff. But
We
do not
walk
have a
to
walk.
the gate every morning and back.
We have
What do
to
you mean we don't
teach
walk?
people they don't have to buy a new house every however many years, buy a home and stay there. Yeah, that's definitely another.
Well, that's a really good segue to the other thing that I really Like Misty just lobbed this softball because I know she knows I'm huge onto this. We really have to get the people in our towns, our communities, the powers that be. You really got to get them to start to revitalize their downtowns. Reuse these buildings. Give people tax breaks. Give them incentives to go in there, bring some of these old buildings up to code, and revitalize those things instead of tearing down forests, tearing down wetlands.
Just to build new stuff.
Just to build a new building that, I mean, I can't tell you going through Augusta how many of those stupid strip malls that are there that are just vacant.
Empty. Mm-hmm.
You know, where you could revitalize those, and with a good tax break, you could get a couple of better mom and pops to come in there, or even get some of your bigger, bigger companies to come in there, and they're always building these Walmart.
And we know it's possible. And I'm going to tell you how I know it's possible. If you've ever visited Helen, Georgia.
Boom.
Helen, Georgia, the powers that be in Helen require that no matter what business you are in, whatever building that you are in, that it has to conform and look a certain way. And that sometimes means buying these older buildings with the same facade on them that has that same look. And if you pull up a picture of Helen, you're going to see the same look. The McDonald's does not look like your typical McDonald's. It looks like old Dutch German, like out of Hans and Gretel. Everything looks that way.
Hans and Gretel?
Hans and Gretel.
Hans.
I said Hans. Get
Hans.
the hot dog out of your ear. Hans and Gretel. And so they, I will kick you right here in your no-no square. They require everybody to, there is no new building. It's all the older buildings have to be refurbished and they do it that way. Windswept says our town turned the old elementary school that closed into an indoor yard sale. They also rent out space and have events. I've seen that in downtown Augusta and downtown Anderson. They've taken old train stations and turned them into like antique malls and antique vendor spots, and
it'd be great for a farmer's
market. Well, in Anderson, that's where they have the farmer's market. They have it outside of where the old train station used to be. I've seen old schools turned into churches. I've seen, as a matter of fact, just outside of Clemson, there is it's very obvious that it was an old elementary school, and they've turned it into a halfway house. So each one of the classrooms, they've now converted each one into its own room, its own little apartment. And so each person has their own space, but then they have like the gymnasium and the cafeteria where everybody gets together. So there's definitely, instead of just knocking stuff, and knocking it over and starting over and building something new, it just, Niana said around here, doctors are using the strip malls for offices. Yeah, I mean,
it's awesome.
Yeah, so.
One of the things that we're going to dip our toe in this year is hydroponics, aquaponics, and a fodder system. In Greenville, South Carolina, a lot of the restaurants have rooftop gardens. Now, yeah. I am a huge advocate of a rooftop garden. Absolutely love them. But they're also doing it with hydroponics. And, excuse me.
I'm sorry.
They're growing stuff vertically, and they're growing a lot of their wet foot stuff, a lot of their leafy greens, stuff like that.
Salad greens and stuff like that.
And so we're going to do stuff like that here and get it set up. And we had aquaponics when we were in Augusta,
We moved it up here. We
We
tried to
moved
set
it
it
up
up.
here, and we just didn't get it set up right. And then we lost the fight. We lost all of our tilapia to wildlife, and then we went to goldfish, and they were doing the job, but we just couldn't eat the goldfish.
And then it started bringing the raccoons.
Yeah.
The raccoons started coming and eating the goldfish.
So we're probably going to dip our toes. I would love to be able to do tilapia again. I just don't know how we would be able to do it and overwinter them. But we may be getting a hoop house. So that may set that up to be able to go in the hoop house. If that happens, that would be really, really cool to be able to do it. Of course, in my head, see, this is why Robin and I work out so well, because see, in my head, this is how my brain works. I believe that I could get a big honking hoop house. I could get that it used to be the big $300 above ground swimming pool from Walmart, stick it inside there, put the tilapia in there, and then all the way down the hoop house, different rows, run that water going back and forth
To the beds and stuff.
And then coming back into that. And I could have a couple hundred, maybe more tilapia in there, and just go in there and just fish when we want to eat fish.
I feel like you'd have thousands.
And I'm okay with that too.
Yeah. Now,
You know?
Niana makes a good point. Keep getting older in mind. There's so much I can't do anymore. Yeah, that's definitely something we've been talking about a lot of. That's why the tractor comes into play. Because we're not older, we're not young anymore. So.
Number 5, W5.
Hey, Lost Dude, what's up?
But see, my
W5.
thought process is that, you can build a little deck around the pool. When grandkids come, they can go fishing.
And you could set up the water so that it could run to the different, beds and things. So.
Yeah, we always. Oh, excuse me. When we build stuff now, I always have. See, here's my biggest fear, and it hasn't happened yet. So my biggest fear is that 70-year-old Jason will be living his life, but they will have developed time travel. And 70-year-old Jason will come back and hit me with a ball bat now because I set something up without
thinking about 70-year-old Jason.
Without thinking about 70-year-old Jason. So I always constantly try to think about 70-year-old Jason.
Wanting to do a geothermal greenhouse. Have you seen the greenhouse in the snow from Alliance, Nebraska? I think we have. The only one that can't the bears see the bears, maybe? Hear the bears? I don't know. Keep dreaming. Takes 8 months for tilapia to grow to market size and only 5 months for shrimp.
I can get down with some shrimp.
I could definitely get down with some shrimp.
Definitely get down with some shrimp.
What kind of temperatures do shrimp need?
Probably a little bit more.
If a 1-acre homestead in Arizona can build a swimming pond and stock it with edible fish, then you can do it with a swimming pool. I'm not in a position to do it either.
Yeah, but I think I mean that's just how my mind works. But Robin's always there to kind of reel me back in to reality.
Chris P. Person will starve to death eating tomatoes and kale. Absolutely.
Well, I mean, he must be very passionate about it because he said this twice now.
Oh, I didn't see it before.
Yeah, it was up there right above me on the first time.
Person will starve to death
and he
eating
spelled out period.
Period, yeah. Well, it's true.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't just eat vegetables. I don't know how
why would somebody just want to eat tomatoes and kale?
I don't know. I couldn't do tomatoes and kale. I'd have to have some.
I gotta have an onion in there or something.
I have to have some cucumbers and stuff.
Yeah.
It's just like that podcast we're listening to, that hard-nosed guy up top, and finally let them onto the roof. And he was like, when you grow cucumbers, I want some fresh cucumbers.
Yeah. So, Chris is absolutely right. Your body needs proteins, and it also needs fats.
Mm-hmm.
Your brain needs fat.
It definitely needs fats, and that's where some of your meats.
Well, if you
and your
don't
fish and
believe
stuff.
that, is it on Discovery? I think it's the Discovery Channel. They have that reality TV show Alone.
Oh yeah.
Watch that show and watch how these people deteriorate and what they're fighting for mostly.
Mm-hmm.
And
yes, fat, calories, and protein, absolutely.
what they're fighting for.
Yeah.
A lot of them. They're eating the noses off of the musk ox when that guy killed the musk ox. Why? To get the fat.
Mm-hmm.
They're storing all kinds of fat. They're striving and struggling to get as much fish as possible as they can for the fats. And at the end of the day, it's all about calories anyway. That's the same way with. What do I preach when I'm talking about predator control? Make it to where that predator has to expend more calories than what he's going to get from your chickens. Because then he'll just keep right on walking.
It's not worth it.
Yeah.
Did they ever rebuild the guidestones? No. And they're not gonna.
They're not going to. If you want to put on a tinfoil hat with me for a minute, here's my theory. Here's my hypothesis about the Georgia Guidestones. Okay? The Georgia Guidestones brought in a lot of revenue for Elbert County. But it didn't matter because land prices shot through the roof. And the one individual who donated that land that the Guidestones were on had it written up that if anything happened to the Guidestones,
and they ever got rid of the Guidestones,
and they ever got rid of them, he got his land back. Well,
after they were destroyed,
he got his land back, and he turned
And he
right
sold
back
it.
and he sold it and made a really huge penny off of it. So,
considering what the prices of land were back in the 70s versus what they are now.
And so, take that for how you want to take it. But there's cameras all over the place up there. How else did I get the footage that I got to share in the video? You can't get me to believe, not for 1 minute, they don't know who it was. And that good old boy system.
And I still, a lot of y'all don't know this, but anybody who's from Elberton would know this, that they chose the week of the 4th for a reason. All of the quarries, all of the granite people shut down the week of the 4th. Yeah. They go on vacation. They are not working that week. It's part of their agreement with the EGA, which is the Elberton Granite Association. And so there was nobody, when that happened, there was nobody on payroll that was equipped to handle trying to save those things. And so the person that did them, I don't know who it was, but it wasn't somebody who was a trained crane operator or whatever he was using to be able to navigate those stones the way that they should have been. So they fell, had to be destroyed, and that was it.
And I can't tell you where any of the pieces are.
I think they somebody told me they got donated to the EGA
Well,
for them to
put in the museum. There's like a small chunk of them in the museum. But
no, for revenue or something. Yep, my favorite time to be in town.
So,
I have been priced out of land here in South Carolina. Land was less than $1,000 an acre. Now it's more than $10,000 an acre. What part of South Carolina? Huh?
I would love to know where they're getting $10,000 an acre. Well, we have 21.
Yeah, but we're not. There's a house on it too, so.
Yeah, but this house ain't worth 20 grand.
Well, that's not.
More probably $6,000-7,000 an acre. So
Yeah.
that's probably not that big of a leap now.
Yeah. Yeah, I think everything has just the market really like inflated everything.
And look, I mean, it's basic
Kershaw County, okay.
basic law of physics. What goes up must come down. You know, everything's going to reach a peak and then it's going to pop. And then once that bubble pops, you know, does anybody remember the housing crisis of 2008 when everything went a little helter-skelter then?
Well, and part of the problem, and a lot of people don't remember this, or the younger generation don't remember this, is that you had people financing houses for what the current value was. But then when the market values dropped, you had people upside down in their houses. They, owed $150,000 on their house, but their house was only worth $100,000. She said we bought our place in 2008.
All right, Melody B said, "Do you grow enough food for the whole year, or are you still going to the store?" Right now, we are still going to the store, and that is my fault because we bought a tractor this year, and I went butt wild crazy, and we didn't get a garden in. But normally, yes, we can grow enough food here that we do not have to go to the store except for flour, sugar, salt,
Rice.
tea, rice, coffee,
Toiletries.
and toilet papers and stuff like that. I was just talking about food.
Oils.
Oils.
Like if we need oils for my soaps or something like that.
Yeah.
But other than that.
Yes.
The other thing too, Melody, that a lot of people have not really taught themselves to do is that yes, there are a lot of people in our group of homesteading that do a lot of canning and preserving, but the other flip side of that is eating in season. And so we find ourselves eating a lot of greens, which is ironic because a lot of people eat like salads in the summer. But like kales and collards and mustards and cabbages and broccolis, turnips, beets, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, all of those things.
Or more of an autumn, winter, early spring kind of thing for us. And there's a lot of retraining when you start living this lifestyle and you start doing this because you have to do things like that. And, we're blessed. We have a very mild climate. I think ours is considered subtropical. So we can pretty much grow all year round. Now, that doesn't mean we can grow tomatoes all year round or watermelons or anything like that. We still have to grow in season. But our season right now is for more, like we have lettuces out there, we have mustard greens, we have turnips, we have beets, we have radishes, we have Swiss chard. We have a lot of your cool weather
Mm-hmm.
crops. Come January 15th, cabbages, broccoli, cauliflower, that kind of stuff that's more frost tolerant, they'll go outside because we've got some of them started indoors right now as we speak. Uh, and then you start to just go in what they call succession planting. You're planting one thing right after another. Now, one of the things that we do like to do is we like to do companion planting and square foot gardening. That really helps focus the amount of space, the square footage that we're using, and maximizing it for what we can get out of it. With the companion planting, some of the companions help repel pests. Some of them help bring beneficial pests in. Some plants can return nitrogen to the soil, or some plants really are nitrogen hogs. You have a lot of these different things that are working together. So in a square foot garden in a 4x6 bed, you can really yield a lot of food out of that. Now, when it comes to our protein sources, we have chickens, ducks, geese, cows, pigs, goats.
No more geese, unless you. I think she's gone. We can't find her anywhere.
Okay, so no goose.
But we have geese that fly
That
over,
fly
so.
over. I hunt, I trap, and we fish. We have our own pond and a creek on our property. Both are stocked. They're not really stocked with some of the stuff I like. But eventually they will be stocked with some of the more of the fish that really kind of soothes my palate. We do process everything but cows here on the homestead. The reason why we don't do cows is because you have to let beef hang for at least 7 days. Some people like to go 10, 14, 15 days. But the general consensus is the very minimum is 7 days. And you're kind of pushing it with that. They really want you to let it hang longer than that. And we do not currently have what's called a cold room or walk-in.
And we don't get cold
cooler.
enough here consistently to do it outside like we do with pigs or whatever. Chris was like, let the Yankees have the summer here. Good luck when the AC stops working. Yeah.
And so with a pig, you can literally get away with letting it hang for 24 hours.
To 48,
and then you can break it down. So there'll be times that we'll hit spots where we'll be like, today would have been a great day, but
I was thinking that.
tomorrow's going to be a little bit warm, so it wouldn't have really been, great that we could have busted a pig today because it was in the, I think,
40s.
48, 49 degrees today, because you really want it to be in that
range or lower.
A little bit lower. You don't want it to be freezing, but a little bit lower. You really don't want really anything over like 52. 52 is really kind of pushing it. But you can let the pig hang overnight at 24 to 12 hours, and then you can cut him up and begin your regular processing. I'll even tell you this, Melody, that we get, like, I purchase a lot of our processing equipment from meetyourmaker.com. I absolutely love that company. They're not affiliated with us yet. That's one of my goals, is to get them as a sponsor of this channel. I think they make really great stuff for homesteaders and backyard butchers, stuff like that. It's good, solid quality stuff without the commercial price tag slapped on it. And I love learning through the process of doing, cutting up my own meat. I'm by no means, no how a professional. And I'm probably doing 1,000 things wrong when I do it, but the food is still edible. And I get a kick out of it.
It'll make a turd.
It'll make a turd. So, we got a video out where we try to make our own lunch meat. It was edible, made turds. It was ugly as homemade sin. There was, but then a lot of y'all came to my rescue, because I was really kind of beating myself up in the video about it. I felt like I kind of failed. But a lot of y'all came to my. It said,
Defense.
you know, I don't know if it was defense or y'all were just slapping a tar fire out of me, telling me to get over myself. But you know, a couple of people said, look, you didn't put all them preservatives and stuff in it. Of course, yours is not going to look that way.
Right.
And so, you know, a lot of people said it looked good. And there's different people that I watch on YouTube that I learned this stuff from. The Bearded Butchers, Duncan.
Well, and one of the things, you know, the thing that keeps getting me is we've had a lot of people say, well, you know, if you run it through a grinder or you run it through the food processor and put it in there, and I mean, I get that. I totally get that. But at the end of the day, that makes me no different.
Well, no.
You still put preservatives and stuff in the other stuff. But I still feel like, I mean, I understand the whole protein extraction and all of that. But I think at some point you over-process something, it gets to a point where it's not.
Yeah. The mistake that I made with that
the size chunks
was I didn't have different size chunks. Yeah. Most of my chunks were, you know, because one of the things it said in the book that I was going with and with Duncan was that to cut your chunks in about 3/4 inch size. And I did my best to try to keep them that way, not necessarily uniform, but as close as I could.
Yeah.
And I even mentioned Duncan in my video, and he came back and made another one. And he made another video when he emphasized making the chunks different sizes. And he even did somewhere he even did grind up a little bit to try to take away a lot of those air pockets,
the holes,
and stuff. So, but I hope that answered your question, Melody. I wanted to give you a full that question that you asked is not just a yes or no question. There's a lot of variables that goes into a question like that we're just trying to be as transparent as possible and not just going to say yes. I want to, we have limitations. I don't know everything.
What?
The stuff.
You don't know everything?
No, most of it, but not everything. Most of the stuff that we share is because we tried it and we failed, and then we learned the right way to do it, and that's why we're putting the videos and stuff out. That's the whole reason why this channel started. In fact, we were the first homesteading channel with consecutive homesteading content on YouTube. And it was because we were doing it, and we were still babies doing it at the time. And when we would learn something because we failed, we felt we better make a video about this. And then some of the stuff was just, sharing predator control stuff, trapping stuff. And,
oh, baby. Past Mama's bedtime.
But, I share this, we share this stuff with you guys to encourage, to empower, to give you encouragement to the point where you'll give it a go. Not one time have I ever regretted making this choice. Have there been times that I've been like, let's just sell everything? Absolutely. I've been so frustrated that I just wanted to sell everything and go live in a condo, go open up a scuba diving shop.
That happens about once a quarter.
Down in the Cayman Islands somewhere.
About once a quarter you get the itch, because it's like you run into a problem with something that kind of acts like it's going to kick your butt, and I think it usually happens with the changing of the seasons. Like whenever the seasons change and we're faced with a new predicament, whether it's something having to do with the animals or if it's something having to do with the garden or a piece of equipment, it just, darling, it's past your bedtime. I'm telling you, like 9 o'clock rolls around and I'm like,
but at the end of the day, I absolutely love what we do. I love the fact that my children hardly ever get sick.
I can't wait until we have our food in the front yard again.
When they do get sick, it's nowhere near as bad as what everybody else is having to deal with. I love the flavor of my food. the flavor of the food is phenomenal.
Yeah.
We barely go out to eat anymore. You know, even for our anniversary, we always used to go to like Olive Garden or Carrabba's or stuff like that.
But we keep ruining it for ourselves.
Yeah,
We
because
figure out how to make it, and we're like, I can make it better at home.
one of the and this is for anybody that wants to start a restaurant or an Irish pub, something like that. If you have a customer that's coming in that's a homesteader, don't piss them off. Because at the end of the day, like, we used to go every St. Patrick's Day to this Irish pub. Okay, we're Celtic. And we used to go and celebrate St. Patty's Day there. They'd have traditional Irish music.
Chris, we're in Alberton, Georgia.
And have a really good time. They had this one burger. What did they call it?
I don't even know. Viking burger?
Viking burger or
I
something
think
like
it's
that.
called a Viking burger.
And it was one of my favorite things. Well, the owner got a little bit too big for his britches and was total A to us.
Mm-hmm.
And so we said, fine.
Over a service dog,
Yeah.
by the way.
And so we haven't been back. That was 3 or 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But we took our favorite dishes
From there.
and we make them here now, and we make them better.
Windswept, go ahead. Yeah, and of course we didn't have exactly what their ingredients were, but we know well enough to go, okay, well, it had this and it had that, and oh, this would taste good with that, and and now, I mean, like, the people here at this house will kill for that meal. Here, not there, but here, like, and now granted, it's a little difficult, especially the dragon eggs. The dragon eggs are a little laborious, but they're definitely worth it. But they're fantastic. We were just talking about this the other day. Our latest one, we make our own French fries here at the house, our own potato chips from just potatoes here at the house.
Put a pin in that for a second. What Robin's getting ready to share with you guys is another thing that I love about this lifestyle, is what it does for our children. Because, one, this lifestyle makes them get very good at problem solving. And it gets them to think outside the box.
Mm-hmm.
And this story that Robin's getting ready to share with you guys, I hope you guys find it encouraging a little bit, because right now, with how everything's going on, I know there's some of y'all that are probably like, I'd kill for insert favorite restaurants.
Food, right.
Your favorite dish there.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
So we were in Augusta for Jason's VA stuff, and his favorite restaurant is no longer there anymore.
Yeah, put a pin in that. Let me ask y'all this.
How many pins you gonna put in me?
Oh, you don't want me to say that on the live stream. Who in their right mind? Okay. Now, Baldino's been around for a while, y'all. We've been around for a
Tell
while.
everybody what Baldino's is, honey.
And everybody knows what Baldino's is. It's a sub shop. Look, I'm a dude. I like sandwiches. Okay, I'm gonna be upfront, honest with you. I like sandwiches. I hate what bread does to me, but I love a sandwich. Okay, and I love a hoagie, and I love a sub. All right, I can.
There is a difference between hoagies and subs.
For days.
Yes.
Days I can eat them.
Miserable, but he'll eat them.
I behave myself at the VA. I don't show my backside. I have all my manners about me, even when they really, really are agitating and really, really aggravating, because they treat me like a number, not like a person. but I do this.
See, no clue what Baldino's is. It's just a
That's
Italian.
not-
I mean, a
Don-
Jersey, Jersey style sandwich shop. Yeah.
Is
It
like
is not like a Subway. It is much better than a Subway. It's better than a Jersey Mike's.
Yes. Better than
It's
this.
on the same kind of thought process as a Jersey Mike's. Ball who? What O's? Oh, pardon me, y'all. I gotta get Jason, we're not allowed to talk about sandwiches.
But they closed it now.
Yeah,
They closed it down.
shut
My
it
only
down.
reason for behaving myself
It's gone.
is gone.
So I say all that to say that he, he's still a little salty about that. So he was telling
I
me
don't think they got that.
that he was craving some Rallies or Checkers fries. They're pretty much kind of like Arby's fries, like how the battered curly fries, but not. They're much better. But it's the same kind of concept. They're a battered fry. Okay. So I was fine with that. Let's go get some fries and have a soda because we don't eat that stuff very often. So, we'll splurge here or there every once in a while. No big deal. So we I got it. So we go and I order a large fry thinking it's enough for us to share. We each get a large drink, no big deal, because we got an hour and a half ride back to the house. Okay. So first of all, that comes up to like $10. And Jason's like, $10 for 2 drinks and a large fry? And I'm like, yeah, I mean, prices have gone up. Oh, well.
Well, no, she's like, yeah, honey, it's a large. Remember, they got really big large.
Yeah, I was like, it's a large
it's
fry.
gonna be enough
you know?
for
I mean,
both of us.
it's $3.29 for this fry. It's going to be plenty. Because they used to serve them in one of those, like the cardboard that you would put like a corn dog in,
Yeah.
like it was like one of those big trays is what they used to put them in. So you mean the best seasoned fry? Yeah, like seasoned, but they're battered. They actually have a batter on them. So anyway, so fast forward, we get up there and I look at this container. And I am not exaggerating when I tell you it looked like a medium size container. And so I flat out asked the guy, I'm like, what, is this a large? And he's like, yeah, it's a large. And I'm like, you're serious? This is a large.
And his
he's
answer
like,
was,
yeah, look
it's-
on the bottom.
look on the bottom, it
look
says
on the
large.
bottom of the container. And so I did. I looked at the bottom, and sure enough, it said large. And I'm like, you're kidding me right now. Not here, Lost Dude. Maybe in California it is, but not here. So I now fast forward to, Jason doesn't know this yet, but Ladessa took me to lunch today while we were out. We had some coupons for Arby's, and so we had a free fry and a free sandwich. And so we ordered the stuff, and Ladessa wanted a large, and the combo comes with a medium, and I was like, oh wait, before you do that, like she'd like a large instead, and she's like, don't worry about it, and like just pay for it, I'll give you a large. Well, fast forward, she forgot that she told us that. So she hands us our food, and I grab this, and so I'm already triggered, right? Because yesterday or day before, his fries were a large, but it was the size of a medium. Now, back history, some of y'all might not know this, but I used to work at Arby's for a long period of time. And so I've known over the years what the size fries look like. So I look at this crate and I'm like, okay, I'm just going to ask real quick. I'm not trying to like tell you, like I really want you to know that I'm just curious right now. I was like, is this a large? And she goes, and I said, is did you give me a large? And she thought I was talking about the drink. And she was like, yeah, that. And she pulls out the cup. I was like, no, not the drink, the fries. And then you could see it dawn on her. She's like, oh crap, I forgot. And I just looked at the screen and I gave you a medium. I was like, no, it's not a big deal. I just wanted to know because the thing is that it was a medium-sized container. And I was like, you've got to be kidding me. Like, is this a large? And she goes, oh, no. This is like, and so my faith was restored a little bit that Arby's was still not like this much for a large, but yeah, I don't know how much it is right now, Lost Dude, but Big Mac's not $18.
I don't know. We need to swing by tomorrow and look after church.
Oh, I'm
curious
sure.
now.
No, it's like 11, I think, $10 or $11. Who else went to the grocery store within the last 7 days and almost crapped themselves when trying not to break stuff? You know, I have actually seen things go down. And that was one of the things, because she was telling me at Arby's, she was telling me that some of their prices have changed and sizes have changed and things like that. Because that was one of the other questions. Ladessa really likes the French dip. And I was like, well, that's 4 ounces of beef, right? And she's like, actually, I think it's 3.5. And I went, oh, so we're going to do shrinkflation here. Well, the guy behind the counter heard, and he's like, no, it's still 4. And I was like, okay, anyway, because I'm still triggered from that French fry incident. But, you know, all that back, let me wind back. The whole reason I bring that up is because the very first thing, as soon as that happened, and I looked at him and saw that, I was like, $3.29 for this? Never again. One time, you got me. One time, but it won't happen again. And so what was the first thing we did? We came home, and by today, because that was Thursday, by today, the girls have figured out how to make them. And no doubt in my mind, they will taste better than the ones that we got on Thursday. They've already figured out onion rings, blooming onions.
Oh, the onion rings.
Yeah, they've ruined the onion rings for me. I can't buy onion rings out in town anymore. Hey, Kim. Yeah, anytime that we taste something that we like somewhere else, you know, even like the consistency of the McDonald's, because, you know, McDonald's cuts their fries differently than Wendy's does or Burger King. You know, they all cut them differently and do different things with them. And so even that, the girls have figured out how to cut the fries so that they're that certain size, so the consistency is the same.
I thought you were going to say cut the cheese.
Cut the cheese. Yeah, so, you know, so that's the thing is, like, if you have the interest, you can figure it out. No, I need to clean it. It's growing mold on it now.
It's supposed to grow mold.
I know it's supposed to, but I don't want anybody to see it like that. I want to see it when it's pretty. But it definitely smells like cheddar. No, I'm not getting the cheese. A gallon of milk here, Heart of California, is expected to come close to $6 a gallon.
They need to see the mold. It's educational.
No, I don't want anybody to see the mold.
Yes. It has to grow mold on it. That's part of it.
I know, but still.
You know, blue cheese has mold in it. I cannot wait to dive in to this cheese, y'all. Robin did such a great job. Lagatha wants some cheese too. Robin did such a great job with this cheese, and she's getting ready to tomorrow or Monday. If she didn't already, she may have already started the next bag of cheese. But when you're aging the cheese, it gets mold on it. You scrape it off. Big deal. A lot of cheese has mold on the inside. That's where the sharpness and all that kind of stuff comes from. Melted blue cheese on a burger. KFC bought back the wrap, and it's now the size of a soft taco. Oh, Lola gonna make cheese tomorrow. You making soft cheese or hard cheese, Lola? She's in there trying to clean it up a little bit, I bet. Which is wrong, because it needs to get that layer of mold on it. Milk is $5.99 and spends same way since I've been here in '98. Cheddar cheese making. Mozzarella. Cheddar cheese making is our next project for the spring. I'm telling y'all, Windswept, I think she nailed it. I just can't wait to dive into this. I've been thinking about canning some milk to save for cooking. But once you can it, wouldn't you have, well, I guess you'd pasteurized it then. So, ooh. Now let me ask you this though. Do you have extra of those rubber rings for your Instapot? Because one of the things that stops Robin from doing some of the stuff with the Instapot is because she's afraid that that rubber ring is going to take on that flavor, because she's heard that it does that. And especially like making what was it? Maybe it was the yogurt or something, that you'll never get that. Everything will taste like that from that point on. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Now, did you order them? Where did you order them from? Because I want to get Robin some, so that way she'll have one for yogurt making, one for cottage cheese, and all of that. Okay, everybody got extra rings. So I guess I'm just going to have to go online, try and find them, and order them for. Amazon is going to take over the world, in my opinion, I think. Oh, that's cool.
I had to cover it in butter again
Oh,
because it had.
I was wondering, I thought you were trying to scrape off all the mold.
No, I had to cover it in butter because it was starting to dry and get crusty. So, I mean, there's some, you know, but like that's the hard rind that's going to be on the outside. So, but anyway, it has to be covered in butter so that it'll. Oh, you can't really see that too much, but.
No, it smells like butter.
No, you can smell it. Smell on the rind right there.
Mm.
Yeah, you can smell
How
it.
much longer are we going to wait?
Two more
Look,
weeks.
even the dog's licking his chops.
2 more weeks.
2 more
For
weeks.
Monday. 2 more weeks.
2 more weeks. Hey, can we do it on live stream?
Probably.
Yes. Oh, I can't wait, y'all, because I just know it's going to be so amazing. Because, y'all, Robin is a goddess in a lot of things, but she is a goddess in that kitchen. That's why I look like this. This is why I got this. See, before Robin, I didn't look like this. Okay? Robin did this to me. This is Robin's fault. She is amazing in that kitchen. And she has not yet cheddar, farmhouse cheddar, lost dude. She hasn't yet been in that kitchen trying something new that has been a disaster. There's been some stuff that's come out that's not like the way that she wanted to. And there's things that's come out of that kitchen that's been absolutely amazing. And she don't remember it because she doesn't write anything down, that I'll never eat again my entire life, which is very depressing. But she is just amazing.
What kind of cheese was it? Yeah, it's a farmhouse cheddar.
Yeah. A lot of people are saying it looks great, looks amazing.
Transitory inflation and shrinkflation is here to stay. Yeah, I think make different color rings so you can tell the difference for foods. What's that for?
Well, Lola was talking about she was getting ready to start making cheese tomorrow. That she's got cottage cheese in her Instant Pot right now.
Yeah.
And then I asked her that thing about the rings, and then everybody kind of lit it up and said, "Yeah, you can order different rings." And I forget who said about the different colored rings.
What are you talking about? Rings for the Instant Pot?
Yeah, the Instant Pot.
Yeah. One of the things that somebody told me, I think it was Meg from Homestead. She was like, "Man, Robin, making yogurt's super easy. You just put it in the Instant Pot, push a button, and come back to it." She said, "But the one thing we learned is that don't make it with one that you've like cooked all your roasts with because you will have roast flavored yogurt. It's disgusting." Which is why we didn't make it in the Instant Pot. We went ahead and did it in the crock pot. And I will tell you, I prefer that because the problem with the Instant Pot is all the pressure stuff is, if the seal's not quite right or this, that, and the other. And I don't know if with making it in the Instant Pot, if you're using the crock pot function, I don't know, or slow cooker function. But with our crock pots, it's really easy. It's like 3 steps.
Yeah,
and you're done.
Can you make cottage cheese in the crock pot?
I'm pretty sure, yes.
Well, if not, I will spend some of my Christmas money to get you the different colored rings.
Well, I think you can even make cottage cheese in a stock pot, like how we made the farmhouse cheddar. It's one of those things that it's no different than soap making to me. When I got it in my mind, I was gonna make soap.
Can you put a pin in that for a second? I forgot to tell you, I took a bar of your soap and I'm using it in the shop to grease up my drawers.
Which one?
I don't know. Carol got it for me. I think she got it out of the Red Barn. So I told her to try to find me an old one.
So.
Because the drawers and the chop
to
saw
get them
cabinet.
So with soap making, for the longest time, I was going to make soap. And I even ordered the lye to be able to make the soap. And the lye sat here for over a year. To the point where I thought I was going to have to order lye again because I wasn't sure what the shelf life of lye was. And so I then got it in my head I was going to make it. And I made it, and I never looked back. And so now the thing that I am realizing with the dairy stuff is that once you bite into it, you start finding other things that you can do. So when I was able to get the curd the way that I was for the cheddar, it was such a clean break. I mean, it was really good that it gave me the confidence to go, well, surely this yogurt thing can't be that hard. And it really isn't. I'm going to do a video on it. I'm sure there are a million videos out there. But I'm going to go ahead and make a video real quick on showing you what we do, how we do it, how we get the extra whey out, what we do with the whey, all that kind of thing. And then how we make it from just plain to turn it into, flavored yogurt as well. So
you're going to take it away.
Take it away now. Give it away. Lost Dude said the good bar. Depending on who you ask, that can be different for different people. What Lost Dude says, then I take it you quit walking the fence line every day. No, we ride in the canine every day now to check it. Lola said, you also don't need a gasket for yogurt or cheese making. Like I said, I use the lid, a regular glass lid or a plate. Instant Pots, get it to the right temperature every time. You know, let me tell you something that I accidentally found out that works great. You know, everybody has a candy thermometer for making cheese. They take that thermometer, it's got the little clip on it, clips on the side of the pot, and it stays angles towards the middle of the pot, so it gives you a good register of what your temperature is. We have the ones that you stick in meat when we're smoking our meat that has the digital out reading of what your what your meat temperature is, internal temperature.
I don't think you want to finish that sentence.
And so it is set up so that the arm is long enough that you can hang it off the side of the pot without damaging it, and it sticks down into the pot and it registers the heat of the milk so that you are sure that you're at that consistent temperature that you need in order to be able to do that. So I have found that it is a much more accurate way of monitoring the temperature on your milk when you're making your cheeses and stuff. I'll buy you another one if you just have to have a different one.
Might as well take a screwdriver and stick it down a garbage disposal.
If we had a garbage disposal, I would so do that just to see what would happen. Not really. I know what would happen. No, it works really well, and it doesn't damage it or anything. So anyway, it works really good. But baby, we have been on here for 2 hours. It's really past my bedtime now. So, okay, so we gave away one last week, and we gave away the one this week, right?
Well, I mean, we've got to give away one this week.
Look, Jason, it's an opening to buy another one.
And because April was one of the ones that we were going to give away, because we gave April and Kim, right? And so the one that I want to give away this week is to a guy he's been with us a very long time. He, for as long as my memory serves, he's been with us probably, I don't know, at least over 5 years. Because he was back with us with the Homestead Network days. He's a brother, fellow jarhead. Lost dude. We're going to give you 1 month membership for sticking with us through the years, and you've always been very active in chats and comments.
Always very
and you've always
supportive.
been very, very supportive, and we appreciate it. We love you for it. Thank you. And so you're this month's winner of
this week's
winner of a membership. So you will have a membership, and starting next week we will go back to the after shows, because we kind of just did another long live stream this week. You'll be getting the newsletter in January.
So do me a favor and shoot me your email just in case I don't have it, Lost Dude.
Yeah.
And that way I can put it on file. And we'll take care of that.
Yeah. And so we will see you guys. I guess we're gonna.
I'll see you next year.
See you. I was hoping to get through the entire.
I did that with my
live
feed
stream.
person the other day when I went to get feed. I was like, man, I'll see you next year. She's like,
That's worse than my ICU joke.
no, not even the slightest.
That's so bad.
No, not even the slightest.
So, again, be looking for. Well, hello, Mel. Happy New Year to you too. Y'all be looking for new encouraging community-based videos and shorts and stuff to make y'all just smile and have a good time. We may have a class coming up in January or February. It really depends on Mother Nature. So be on the lookout for that. Members will get first shot. It's going to be a finite amount of people that can go in there. Also, check out our website, www.bigbearhomestead.com. We are always adding new pages and new things on there as well in the shop and stuff like that. LaDessa is going to be working on putting out a blog once a month. Basically how it looks from her 16-year-old self point of view. So LaDessa's been the one, Carol's been the one orchestrating the newsletter and doing all the graphics and stuff, and it's been turning out really, really nice. I really like it. So members,
That's Carol.
no, Carol's in there. That sounded like a pig.
No, one of them, because they just closed the door. I just heard them.
Okay.
Don't do the class until after the annual Georgia ice storm. I know, right?
For real. So, if you're wondering about what am I talking about when I'm talking about members, you hit that join membership button there, down there on the bottom, and you have tiers. Look at the different tiers. 2 of the tiers have access to a after show after the live streams. It's usually about 30 minutes to sometimes even an hour or longer. Depends on how the conversation goes. The top tier also gets a coupon and newsletter comes out, and so there's lots of benefits that go along with membership. They also get to know some of the things that are happening behind the scenes, stuff that's going to come out first hand. Also, if you guys when you check out our shorts and our videos, leave a comment and give it the old like button. That really helps us out with the algorithm, where we're trying to really combat. We're really trying to combat this whole shadow banning kind of thing. So we really got to get the algorithm in our favor, and a lot of the people that are to know with what's going on with the YouTube algorithm and stuff like that, that's what they're talking about. It's not watch time is not really that much of a thing anymore, as much as it is engagement. So if y'all could type in thank you, hey, how you doing, comment.
Yeah, you can comment on shorts. Yeah, but definitely like them for certain. But yeah, on shorts, comments are nice too.
Rob, that would be a huge help to us. And if you really like the video, share it, please. Help us get the word out.
Will y'all be safe for New Year's Eve tomorrow night?
Yes. Do not drink and drive. There's more than enough taxi services and Uber's people out there that are offering free rides. If that's your thing, there's so many services out there that are offering to pick you up from the bar or the party and tote you home.
It's inexcusable.
There's no excuse. Don't drink and drive.
I've even heard that your local police department will give you a ride home rather than you drive. Like they would much rather figure a way to tote you home than you get behind the wheel. So
don't forget, if you're not a subscriber, go ahead and click that subscribe button.
Yeah, check the button too.
Yeah, and I'll constantly check it and make sure you're getting notifications. After the first of the year, I think we've given everybody enough time. Go ahead and we're going to start sending that email notification out too. We're on all the other social medias, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and all that stuff. And we love y'all. Thanks so much for the love and support that you've given Robin and I here at Big Bear Homestead for 2023. And we are looking forward to a very exciting 2024. Y'all be safe.
Good night, y'all.
God bless. forget anything because I just forgot what I was going to say. And it was going to be funny, but now it's not really funny anymore because I don't know what I was going to say. So y'all have a great night. Be safe out over there.